Hi everyone, and welcome to my process video here on YouTube. I want to take a moment to let you know that the process video that you are about to watch is from one of my classes that was formerly available on Big Picture Classes. Any references within the video to class content, written instructions, or downloads will not be available for this particular process video. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I will try to assist you in any way that I can. In some instances, I will try to provide downloads to you and make them available in my Etsy shop. And if that is the case, you will be able to see that at the end of the video with my Etsy shop logo and a link to where you can purchase that particular download. Thank you so much for your interest in my work. Now let's go ahead and get started with some memory keeping fun. Hi everyone, and I am back here with you to show you how I'm putting this spread together regarding a difficult story in my life. I created a template that you can find below, and each piece has a different element in it. Some of them are digital pieces of word art that I dropped in. Some of them contain photos and others contain words. So these are the two pieces that I printed out from the template, and I printed my photos on photo paper so that they would be a little brighter, a little more vivid. Originally, I was just going to take the photos, cut them out, and then place them on top of the template and call it done. But I did in the end decide that I wanted to cut each of these individual pieces out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those pieces out and then show you how I end up putting everything back together. And you'll see I make some mistakes, but we will go with the flow. Now that I have all of the puzzle pieces cut out, I am going to use 2 pieces of cardstock, 7 by 8 1/4, to adhere these pieces on them with different adhesives. So some of the pieces I would like to put on with foam squares. And so 2 different adhesives. This is going to be the permanent one, and this one will be the temporary one. Generally, when I am using foam squares for something like this, and I want everything to line up nicely, I will put down the pieces that I intend to use foam squares on with a temporary adhesive. And this helps me to line everything up exactly the way that I want. The other pieces that are going to be permanent, I will put down with the permanent adhesive. So you'll see here that I am just kind of using both of the adhesives and putting all of the pieces onto the first page. And at this point is where I decide that I want to punch the holes until I realize that my words are a little bit too close to the edge. So you'll see in a little bit, I'll explain to you how I kind of fix this little blunder without having to start all over again, because nobody wants to have to go through and start from scratch just because of a small error. So before you ever go back and restart, kind of brainstorm and think to yourself, what can I do to fix this that will save time and also keep my page or my spread being similar, if not as close to the intention that we had when we first started. These little pieces are from Citrus Twist Kits. They are adhesive page strips, and they are exactly what they sound like. You take them and pull off the paper, and then it gives you an adhesive strip that has the holes punched in, and that saves the day for me, so I don't have to worry about redoing my project. So once I adhere the strip, I then go ahead and I pull up the pieces that were down with the temporary adhesive, and I put the foam squares on the backs. You'll see I am, once again, very generous with my foam squares. I like everything to be nice and sturdy. You don't necessarily need to use as many as I do, but it definitely will help your pieces to stay in place and to hold up over time. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then you're going to see that I have several embellishments picked out that I would like to put on some of the photos. Some circles, some wonky circles, some rectangles. And here you'll see that I am just kind of moving them around, trying to decide what ones I want to use. All of them were chosen ahead of time, and all of them have sentiments on them that go along with my story. Some of them have foam adhesive on them already. Some of them do not. So for the ones that don't, I will use my score tape. And for the ones that do, I will just kind of put them on with the adhesive. I then go through my tiny chipboard hearts, and I add a heart above each one of those embellishments. And that kind of gave a little bit of a pop of color for me. Next up, I am going to do some stamping. And I pulled out this little set of numbers so that I can number each one of my journaling pieces so that the reader knows what piece to read first, where to go second, and where to go third, and then so on. So I'll just kind of, you'll see I test the stamps out a little bit to make sure that everything looks good. And then I'll pick a piece of each puzzle piece and stamp the numbers 1 through 5 on each of those. And that way, again, the reader is going to be able to follow through as they are looking at everything. And the last thing that I'm going to do is grab my date stamp, and I will test it out, and then I will go ahead and stamp the current date on the bottom. And that's it. So you were able to see here how I used a template to print out all of these pieces, cut them out fussy, and then fix my error by adding these adhesive page strips. And so here is the final spread as it is going to be in my album. Again, this was a hard story to tell, but I was very, very happy to get it out. And I know that there are many other stories related to this that I still have yet to tell, but one step at a time, right? We have to work through our process one step at a time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see you guys in the next video.